Are we really saying goodbye to Dr. Marlena Evans? We got a full recap coming up for you right now.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Why, hello, happy Sunday to all of our Days of Our Lives fans. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's DISHIN Days, where we give you a full recap of this week's episodes of Days of Our Lives. I'm your host, Tony Moore, and I'm joined by my gaggle of gals. We have to my far left,
Michael Mattis, the Michael Mattis.
and we have...
Hi everyone, Tami, Goveia.
And of course, shout out to Mark J. Freeman, who is a busy lady and could not make it with us today. And shout out to James Scott.
What?
Almost said James Scott. Wrong James. James Lott Jr.
There's only one James.
I mean, we can shout out to him. That's fine.
Shout out to James Scott. But also, my chocolate twin, James Lott Jr., who is still in full recovery. We love you and wishing you all the best.
Yes.
Thank you guys for watching us live. If you haven't already, make sure you like us and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. We are DISHIN Days, and on Twitter, we are _DISHIN Days. The @ is implied. Also, if you are a huge soap opera fan and you want to get a full recap of your other favorite soaps, we have the GH Report and Restless Rap. I don't think they're filming today, but tune in. They'll be back at some point. Also, make sure you go to iTunes and give us 5 stars. Tell us how much you love us and adore us and love all of our recaps. And who knows, you may end up being our fan of the week.
Woohoo! Wow.
Our show is so ridiculous.
Scary.
All right, so
What did you say?
what did you guys think of this week's episodes? I mean, bring out the tissues.
I'm glad
my
I had the
gosh.
Costco, volume pack of tissue boxes because I went through a couple of boxes.
Oh, it was so emotional.
Crazy.
So emotional.
There was a
but
moment.
So good.
There was a moment where I felt like I should pause and like say my goodbyes to Marlena as well.
I know, right?
Like
Have your own monologue.
Yeah, like I wanted to pause like on her face and go, Marlena, you've brought me so much joy throughout so many years. From the time that you were in the secret room with Kristen, to the time that you were possessed, to the time that you were killing everyone and they ended up on Messalem.
Oh my God.
Absolutely adore you. Thank you. But
Tears silently rolling down your cheek.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
That
no.
single tear.
Yeah, single tear. Not tears, but tear. Just a single tear.
Single tear.
Kind of up over the cheek and down, and then it just hangs right there.
Or just dripping on the lip.
Yeah.
That happened with Allison Sweeney this week when she was giving it. It went right.
But
and I
she's
was
a
like,
pro. She didn't flinch.
I know, right?
She didn't try to lick it off.
No.
It was great.
Well, the one take. There's a one take rule there.
Yeah, that's it.
You gotta keep going.
Well, y'all, let's get right into it. It's now time to start
DISHIN Days.
Tami? Yay! We said it and forget it. All right, let's kick things off with the very, very first storyline. We have John, Marlena, Belle, Eric, also Roman, Kayla, and Sammy.
Pretty much everybody, yeah.
Yeah, but
Lots of people.
I feel like we should talk to someone who really, really, really
feel that
knows
was-
I think
this
so
storyline.
too.
Yeah, but who?
It's a really good idea.
I know. Who should we have?
I don't know.
I think we should have Miss Martha Madison join
You
us.
think
Yeah.
so?
Yeah.
Great idea.
I mean, the Belle Black. Hello, Martha.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi,
What's going on?
man. Just hanging in Dallas.
Martha, thank you so much for joining us. And can I say bravo?
Bravo.
this
Bravo,
week.
standing ovation.
Bravo.
Standing ovation. And the award goes to...
Yes, for sure.
For real, yes.
Like, seriously, knocked it out of the ballpark this whole week.
Over and over. That's it.
Did they warn you when you were coming back, like, okay, we're going to bring you back and get plenty of sleep? Because...
No, actually, I had been back for, I don't know, maybe a week or two already before I knew what was happening. So it was kind of a surprise, but a happy surprise. I knew the minute he told me that this was going to be a really special story that would, be one that people would reference for the future, of the show. And I was just happy to be a part of it and kind of an integral part of it.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
it's nice. Yeah.
Now, last week, we found that you had found the Do Not Resuscitate form.
Yeah.
And I was still kind of on the edge of my seat. I was like, what is that paper? Like, why is she crying? Like, what's happening? And then all this week, we had to see you deal with making the decision on what to do. And there was a lot of crying, there was a lot of going back and forth. Like, for you as an actress, like, where did you have to dig in order to, like, really show what Belle was going through in this moment?
Well, first I want to say that, everyone, this was very much an ensemble story, and everyone just brought it, like it was such a wonderful collaboration with everyone. So I don't think, I think we're all sort of responsible for how it turned out. For me personally, kind of going to that place, sadly, I have some personal things I can draw on. My mom's been really sick for a long time. She has a really rare form of dementia. I also have 2 sisters, and there's so many decisions that have to be made when you're really taking over the care of someone, like a parent. And so I've had conversations like this before. I mean, I didn't slap my sister or anything. I've certainly wanted to once in a while. For her. But ultimately you come together and do what's best and right for the care of your loved one. And I've had a lot of these difficult decisions, and for me, it was just almost just a natural response. It's something that I still, we still do every day. And, I'm not like sobbing at my mother's bedside every day, but I understand the emotion. I understand the fear. I understand wanting to do what's right and what they want. And I also know how hard it can be. And so I had a lot of personal things to draw on. And I think when you have that intersection between like real life and storytelling, that's kind of where the magic happens.
The magic happens, exactly.
So in a second, we're gonna show a clip of you and a scene with you and Drake. And you mentioned just the ensemble of people that made this happen. I think one of the things that I definitely enjoyed was seeing the family dynamic of this whole storyline. To be able to see, Belle and Brady and Eric and Sammy and John, like everyone just really, and all the difference of opinions and
it was so realistic.
And the struggle they were all feeling about it,
I also loved that they wrote this face-off between the most unlikely adversaries, John and Belle. And I think that can happen in situations like this in the families, in everybody's family. And so I thought that was really just awesome storytelling. It was very real. And I thought, God, Drake was just so good.
Oh yeah.
You both, like, I feel like you almost like both fed off each other in a way, and it just,
I remember after one scene, I think the scene where he says, "I've never been more ashamed to call you my daughter."
Oh yeah.
That scene. And I was like shaking, and she was like, "Oh my God!" And I was like, "That was like, I don't even know what happened." So, for an actor, like that's all you want is to get that moment where you're just so connected, you almost forget you're there. And you don't get that very often, and in any job or in any medium, but certainly when you do, you're just like, oh, that was why I'm doing this. It's adrenaline.
That's
I don't know. It's like a drug.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, speaking of those scenes, let's take a look at one of the.
I believe
clips
we have that.
we have
I believe
here.
that's the one I chose.
That's the scene.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I love you, Isabella. I'll always love my baby girl. But I have never been more disappointed in you in my life.
I'm just doing what Mom
wanted. Baby. But as her husband. Oh, I'm so sorry, counselor. I mean, as the guy who was 2 seconds away from marrying her before a bullet slammed into her chest. If there is even a glimmer of hope that she's gonna come back to us, I'm gonna hold on to that. I just wish that her daughter could find it in her heart to do the same.
Daddy.
If you really love your mother, you will forget that you ever saw this document.
Oh my gosh. Oh. And it almost feels like in that moment you wanted your father to kind of like comfort you, but he was
yes,
so.
those are the moments where you're like, I want my mommy, I want my daddy, and I can't have either one. Like.
Oh my gosh! Like, thank God Eric was there, because that would have been a lonely moment of you just sobbing and being and to see how your face dropped when he was like, "I'm so ashamed of you and so disappointed." I was just like,
you could see you were shattering. Just right in front of him.
That was just Drake. I mean, it felt real for a minute. You know, it's just he's so good, and he just kind of captivated everyone around him, and all of us just kind of sucked us into the scene, and he's just so great.
And I feel like this week too, we kind of realized maybe why Marlena chose Belle to handle this situation. Because
there's no one that would have been able to carry out the document. There's no one that would have been able to.
Yeah, and to make sure it was, you know, all throughout the week she kept saying, you know, this is what she wanted. Like, and I felt internally, Belle didn't want to, but she was like, this is what she wanted. Like, my hands are tied. Like, what am I supposed to do? I'm
really, I'm thankful for that scene with Belle and Kayla when Belle asked her, give me the worst case scenario. Is there even a remote possibility she could be like this forever? And
and I've had those conversations before with my mom's doctors, like, you know, give it to me straight. Tell me what to expect, because you don't know if you're not a medical professional, and you want to have every ounce of information you can have so that you don't make the wrong decision, because it's literally life and death. And, you know, I also want to just say, I think that the writers here did such a fantastic job of writing this story in a way that has, what I've seen online, just provoked so many independent conversations within families all over the country. And it's so important. You know, my husband and I just finished doing our estate plan for Charlie, you know, like deciding who's going to get her and what's going to be our trust and what's life insurance and like all this kind of stuff. And, you know, they're weird conversations to have, because you're like contemplating what would happen if everybody died. Right?
It's somewhat morbid, but it's necessary.
You should. And I think it's so important, and I think if anyone can take anything away from this story, it's go home, get it all together, take the burden off your family, make sure everybody knows what you want, and then just go on living your life and, you know, bungee jumping and all that good stuff.
I fly at Universal or whatever.
The indoor skydive. At Universal. Yeah, that's the only skydiving or bungee jumping I plan on doing. Well, Martha, thank you so much for calling in. We're going to let you go back to your wonderful daily life. But we definitely wanted to chat with you this week and just commend you for what you're doing since you got back. Oh, and kudos on that slap to Sammy and telling her off and all that. Kudos to that. Belle was not having it. She was like, look here, Heffa, you are the one that came in and did this. No, you ain't got no. And she has stuck her guns the whole even when Sammy came in.
What is she doing here?
That's right. That's right. Even when Sammy came in, she was like, "What are you doing here?" Every time Sammy, "What are you doing here?" It's like, "No, I want to know what you're doing here. You have no reason to be here." I love.
Even Belle has to let her bitch flag fly every
Absolutely.
Yes.
Listen, and
it flew and waved.
We all got that flag.
Yes,
we salute it.
Yes, it is flying. And it's huge and it's
Proud.
big.
Okay, I get it.
Well, Martha, thanks again so much for calling in.
Thank you so much.
We can't.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, and Martha, where can the fans find you via social media to keep up with you?
Instagram and Twitter at Marth27.
And she has a very entertaining daughter. So if you love that, you definitely want to follow her. She's gonna be one of two things. She's gonna be a huge superstar. She's gonna be president. Like one of those things.
I as a joke, I hashtagged her baby president since I was pregnant with her, and now I think maybe, or she's gonna be a supervillain. We haven't decided yet.
That's funny.
Either way, she's definitely gonna leave her mark in this world.
Absolutely.
No doubt.
Well, thanks again, Martha, and have a wonderful Sunday.
Thank you, Martha.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, bye. Oh my gosh, that was so fun.
She's so sweet.
She's super sweet. I love Martha. All right, so
Oh my God.
this week was
I'm
very
ready to
tough.
just go home and go to sleep right now.
Again, I liked
So
the
exhausted.
week though because it was very the storyline was concentrated, on the like. It wasn't like 5 storylines per day.
Yeah. It was
focused and it was easy to follow. And I feel like I was more engaged with it because of that. You know what I mean? I was more
Agreed.
emotionally invested.
Yep.
And the other thing is that everyone is like, oh, Marlena's gonna be fine, and it's like, is she? Because
I know.
I mean, things are not looking great for Doc.
Nope.
This week.
I
At
know.
all.
No, they're not.
Everyone's coming in and saying their goodbyes
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. Sammy had to escape jail in order to like.
She didn't escape, Rafe.
I love that phone call.
Where's Sammy?
Where is
and
she?
he was just like,
Rafe, where is she?
She's not in her cell. Where is she?
and he
Oh,
just
that
was just like,
fabulous.
I like how he defied hope though. He was just like, whatever, let's go.
Yeah.
Do you seeing this situation and also hearing the advice that Martha gave everyone? Do you, not wishing this upon anyone, but do you guys think you could handle that sort of situation?
Can I just say that I've been in that situation with my mom? I mean, she came through it.
Yeah.
So it was really hard for me to watch all of this.
Yeah.
Because I know what it feels like. She didn't have a directive. I mean, because nothing had been created, so I made the decision like, no, we're going to work through this.
Yeah.
We're going to work through this. So I don't know what it's like to already have that directive and go, oh my, like what Belle went through.
Have to make that. Yeah.
But like she said, that it's provoked conversations that have to happen.
Yeah. I've thinking about it, I feel like my parents would make me the person who would
Carry it out.
Yeah,
and not
and make
everyone
the
can
decision.
do it. Yeah.
I don't want to be in that position.
But once you're in it, you don't realize that you can step up and take care of business until you need to step up and take care of business.
This is true. This is very true. Yeah.
That's what family's about, rallying together and getting the support and
And all again, the family dynamic of this storyline is just super amazing. And like Martha said, like, everyone is making this so good.
And they're so different. Everyone's POV was so different, like what they think should happen and how it should happen.
Yeah. And even it was kind of like, if you look at the dynamics, John was like, fight for her.
Oh my gosh.
You have Belle, who's like, but this is what she wanted. You have Eric, who supports, who's being a supportive
He's the
brother.
mediator, yeah.
Yeah. Then you have Sammy.
But he vacillated. He started out with, no, we can't I can't let you do this.
Yeah.
And then he thought about it. And then, so I love that whole process.
Yeah. And then you have Sammy, who's like, if our mother dies, it's her.
Yeah.
It's almost like she passed the torch, like, let's forget I shot her. and so then you have that. And then when Claire was like what? Like, no. We need to fight. It was kind of like, man, as soon as you feel like the dust is clearing, someone else pops up and goes, bam.
And when Claire said, I've never seen someone die before, it's like, heart's breaking.
Yeah.
So, this week, kudos to everybody for this week. Like, and I feel like we have seen such a different side of John.
Absolutely.
In this storyline as well. Because I feel like we're so used to seeing Marlena in this position that since I've watched Days, which was only in the 90s, I've never known John to really be in this state.
I thought the same thing.
Yeah. So
and I think this is the best. Like, Drake's good, and he's good at being like heroic John Black, and that's what we're used to. But he like brought it this week,
it's amazing.
And it was just the emotion that he admitted like just was incredible, and it was like those tears, it like made me choke up. You know, I'm seeing this man crying, and I'm like, oh my god.
How many years of relationship are between John and Marlena?
If you're counting when he was Roman, like 30.
Okay, so he literally brought
Yeah.
30 years of their relationship to the moment,
Yeah.
which was so phenomenal.
And it felt very real.
And we looked it up. He's never been nominated.
Never been nominated for an Emmy.
For an
Never
Emmy.
won an Emmy.
Deidre hasn't either, has she?
I don't know.
I
I feel
don't.
like she's won one maybe. But I don't know. We didn't look up Deidre.
Let's see.
We just looked up Drake. But we were, Tami and I were talking. We were like, okay, we need to make sure that Drake at least submits himself.
Yeah.
Because in order to be nominated, they have to
submit. They have
themselves.
to get their reel and stuff.
And so if Drake, we want Drake to submit so he can win.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
we feel like he killed it and gave an Emmy-worthy performance this week. So.
Kudos to everybody. Okay, she has been nominated for back in the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah. So Deidre has been nominated. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. That storyline. So we'll see what happens next week. Moving on to Will, Sonny, and Paul. Go ahead, Michael.
What?
Go ahead.
What?
I know you're.
What? The scene where Will shut Brady's mouth and Brady apologized and ate the crow that he needed to eat? Yes, that was one of my favorite scenes of the week. And I was like, I'm going to love dishing about this.
I have to say, first of all, thank you, Sonny, for stepping up. Because Sonny's the one who said, Will, we can't do this.
Right.
We can't be together.
But I feel like
And
Will...
it really impressed me because he's been so So I was really thankful for him to step up like that. And Will laying into
The
Eric.
sacrifice,
Because
yeah.
even I was like, dude, Eric, you just need to, Brady, you need to back down. Eric
Yeah.
Martzoff, Brady, you need to back down.
Yeah.
And I was happy that they had the character realize, like, okay, I'm emotional. There's a lot going on. I apologize. And I was like, okay, I'm a fan of yours again. I'm on your side again.
So, I will say,
I can't do that.
I can't do it either.
It's a talent.
It is.
That's why you're so popular in WeHo.
I do still feel like Paul is treated like a rag doll. However, I did appreciate the scene where Brady did realize, like, I am being too harsh. Like, I am emotional. There is a lot going on. Like, and I do appreciate Will, like, stepping in and being like, Brady, you don't know what's
He was
happening.
so fierce.
Like,
He was
you're,
awesome.
like you're coming in thinking we're just here making out,
Yeah.
in the day, and we're actually having a moment where we're saying we can't be together because of Paul.
Yeah.
So I actually appreciated that whole scene of clarifying, like, how we feel. So kudos to the writers and Freddie and Chandler and Eric for that. I did appreciate that. So, but if Paul rises into the sunset and needs somebody.
And Christopher Sean's performance, man, it was beautiful.
yeah.
Him
It was
finding
beautiful.
him finding out that he was
knocking on his legs.
paralyzed.
I wasn't expecting that.
You know what? I honestly wasn't expecting that either, and until Caleb was like by his foot and being like, and that's when I was like, girl, you don't feel that? Like, there's no like wrinkle of the toes or anything?
Yeah.
And then she went over and was like, and then you could tell in her face that she was like,
Yeah, she's like, uh-oh.
she's
This
like, oh my
isn't
God, like
good.
how much more bad news am I gonna have to deliver to these people? And then she's just like, Paul, you don't feel that? And he's like, And then to see that moment before Roman walked in
Yeah.
of him trying to move his legs and
That
him
frustration and just
and him himself not even realizing that he couldn't feel his legs.
I thought it was sweet that Roman came to, that gave me the feels. Roman came to check on him, and they had because I don't think they don't really have a relationship or anything,
yeah.
but it was sweet, little touching scene with Roman.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I like that they're including Paul. Everyone, there's always where someone says, "Go check on Paul. Go check on Paul. Go check on Paul."
Right.
So like like things aren't happening with Marlena, and we're forgetting about the other things that are happening.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. But now that Will and Sunny have decided not to be together, already in my mind I'm thinking like now we're going to see the struggle of them trying not to be together, but magnetically that they're supposed to be together.
Yeah.
And now I'm just anxious to see how this all plays out.
I love the conflict. That's what's
That's
called.
what,
listen.
that's what
It's the
fuels the
conflict.
show.
That's it.
If
It would-
everyone's happy, it would be a boring show.
It wouldn't be
Days of
drama.
It wouldn't be drama.
Like suns through the hourglass.
so are everybody's days of their lives. Everybody.
All right.
Wrong time to take a drink. All right, so let's move on to
What is this?
This is
What
we
is
have
this?
we
Is
have
this for
Lucas,
real?
we have Lucas, Bonnie, baby Bonnie,
Stop
and
it.
Chloe.
Baby Bonbon?
Baby
What
Bonbon.
was that?
First of all,
What was Baby Bonbon?
First of all, shout out to the writers
Yes.
for Bonnie suggesting that the baby be called Bonnie Beyonce. I was like, yes! Yes, Bonnie Beyonce. I'm here for it. Bonnie Beyonce Horton. I live it. BBH. I live it. I love it. That was I loved it. But it's so kooky because I love that she was just like, oh baby, yeah, we did it. We did the deed. And then now seeing Lucas remember
Yeah, it's like,
that
oh,
he did do it. And it's like, oh
no.
boy. But first of all, Sheila, girl, where have you been to just come in with the baby?
Wasn't she in jail?
No, she worked. Oh, you're right. She was in jail.
Right.
Was she?
I thought she worked at the jail, but you're right. I think she was in
No,
jail.
okay, remember she was in jail.
She was in jail.
She got out.
Okay.
And when Bonnie went to the Kyriakis mansion, she brought her in as the maid.
That's
As the
right.
maid. Okay,
Yeah,
that's right.
and then all of a sudden one day, like Sheila was gone,
Got
Okay.
it.
and
All
now
right.
she walks back in
Mhm.
with baby Bonnie,
Baby Bonnie Beyonce.
baby Bonnie Beyonce.
So has she borrowed this baby? Is this for real?
Like, do we think
or
this
is
is
this
a-
for
yeah.
real?
What I found funny was that the internet was like, Sammy better not come back with no baby, and it's like
Didn't.
Sammy didn't, but Bonnie sure did.
We weren't expecting that.
Um,
Because I thought once Lucas left the room and it was just the two ladies with the baby, I thought it was going to be those like, well, we pulled that off
Yeah.
kind of thing. But
it's
Sheila was not aware of this. And
No, I kind of feel like it actually might be real.
I think she borrowed the baby.
You think so?
I think so. I
I'm
think
torn.
she borrowed the baby.
Like I'm more on the fence of like, oh, this may actually be
A
legit.
kid?
Yeah.
Because I remember the phone
I don't-
call that Bonnie made. Like, look, I need a favor. You owe me. You owe me. And it could have been to Sheila saying, go pick up my baby.
Right.
You owe me. Or it could have been like, you need to go find me a baby. You owe me.
But okay, let's look at this logically. I'm a
Okay,
still
Spock.
I'm a still a baby, and then come to the police station with it.
But that's
She's
but
desperate,
that is
though.
something Bonnie would do.
That is. She's a
Bonnie has
desperate.
the Bonnie
she's in the corner.
like that's her mind. Like I'm torn. Like I can see it being a scam, but I can also see it being real. So I need to see how this plays out before I can give a definitive
But y'all
opinion about
y'all
it.
know those Amber Alerts go out quick. So
they're loud.
I don't even think Sheila could have entered the police station with the baby because the Amber Alert would have been like beep 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 beep.
Maybe she borrowed a baby from a friend. I don't know.
She
Okay.
was like, "Excuse me."
Okay, imagine that phone call. Oh, hey, girl. Yeah, you still got that baby? Yeah, let me borrow it real quick. Yeah, no, I'm just going to take it to the police station. Yeah, no, I'll bring it right back. About an hour. All right, cool. Later.
Oh.
Like, who's going to do that?
I don't know.
Our chat room people have some ideas
Some
of what may be
ideas?
going on. Yeah.
Somebody, Sheena123 said maybe Bonnie borrowed Sammy's baby.
Maybe it's actually Sammy's baby.
I think
and-
everybody wants a baby from Zammy.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, they're gonna. I think they're.
Isn't Bonnie too old?
They're gonna plan to
I
get.
love that.
They're planning to get a paternity test though, so we'll
Yeah.
find out if
Yeah.
it's Lucas's or not.
Yeah, but those things get
Well, I know that's like
Messed up and
I know
fake all
we've
the
got
time.
we got one going on with the other storyline right now that I always forget. I keep
I have
forgetting.
no
I
faith
keep
in
forgetting that
paternity
baby, the Abigail's baby, and I know they weren't on this week.
Oh,
But
yes.
I keep forgetting that the baby's not Stefan's. And I have to remind myself because I'll be watching it and I'm like, oh, but wait, he's not okay.
Yeah.
Anywho, But yeah, well, they'll get the paternity test, and
and
Chloe's not happy about it.
I said my shade of the week was when Lucas told Chloe the name of the baby. There was a moment where
Chloe was like, really?
The look.
First of all, Chloe's looks are classic.
Yeah.
I just love that Chloe's like the tea spiller and gatherer of Salem. If Maxine's son ever is able to be in Salem, like I want him to be best friends with Chloe.
Lots of tea.
Lots of tea.
Lots of tea.
We'll both be sitting at Doug's place like, girl. I'm just
waiting
saying.
to meet with the health inspectors.
Right.
About the freaking freezer.
Oh my God.
That's still
That's
happening.
funny that they're still carrying that story.
I know,
That's
right?
hysterical.
Just reminding everybody.
Oh, shout out to Mark who's in the chat room.
Hey,
Hey, let me do hey Mark. All right. Okay, so just so we're clear, you're torn between.
I don't have an opinion yet.
You don't have an opinion yet. You think
Yeah,
the
I think
baby
it's
is
a scam.
fake.
Yeah.
I think the baby is real. Mark will find out what he thinks.
He'll tweet about it.
Yeah. Oh.
His tweets this week.
I
oh
love-
my living word.
I love weeks like this when Mark like
You can tell he's
watches,
feeling it, yeah.
and he's like, I can just hear him go, girl, and I like,
Yelling at the TV.
yeah,
Yes,
all
yes.
that. So please follow Mark, because let me
Yeah.
tell you, that's entertaining
funny.
enough.
That's entertainment.
All right,
That's
so
a
a bit of business.
Time for a little
Business.
business. Well, we here at the wonderful AfterBuzz Network produce after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows. Not just dramas, not just reality, but sci-fi, comedy, all across the board. So there is no network that works harder to serve you, the television fans. But now we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. You're probably already subscribed to drama since you're watching our show, but subscribing to other YouTube channels will help you discover new shows that you may not know about, but that you're sure to enjoy. Since you've already tuned into the drama channel, you might be interested in other shows that we have: Queen of the South, Black Mirror, The Affair, The Bold Type, etc. And remember, we have channels for other genres too. Like I said, comedy, sci-fi, reality. Get your Kardashian fix or whatever floats your boat, right? We got it. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be. They're completely optional. Your phone, your iPad will not be blowing up every other minute. It's easy. Just hit the subscribe button for an easier AfterBuzz experience, and let us know how we did in the comments, and we'll thank you on air. So thank you for being the best television fans, and we promise to continue to do our best to serve you. And that message brought to you by
The fine folks of AfterBuzz TV. All right, so now we have our tidbits. We have Brady, Eve, Jennifer, and Eric.
We just kind of got a reminder that was happening.
That-
They weren't really a focal point of the week.
No,
but
it's just kind of like Jennifer still feels like she wants to tell Eric the truth, and Eve is still like, girl, shut up, keep your man, let's keep it moving. And that was it.
And I
Yeah.
was so annoyed though when Jennifer compared herself to Kristen. I'm just
Yeah.
as bad as Kristen. I'm like,
like,
what?
don't be a martyr. Come on.
Like, come on.
No, you ain't as bad as Kristen,
Not
and you know
even
you're not as bad
close.
as Kristen.
Show of hands, who thinks Jennifer should tell Eric? Show of hands, who thinks Jennifer should just keep quiet? Show of hands, who just don't care.
Shout out to the podcast listeners.
Thank you, podcast
So
folks.
Tony's the one that doesn't care. Michael and I truly believe that she should be honest with Eric.
Yeah.
Yes.
For the sake of
Because
getting it
it's
over
Jennifer
with.
and Eric.
And that's that would be true to Jennifer's character.
Absolutely.
Jennifer is not a liar.
The both of
she's
them.
She's
It's true to
she's
their
a
relationship.
good-natured person. Except maybe, was she on drugs or something at one time?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was a hiccup.
Mark just said, yes, tell Eric.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark J.
Mark
Freeman.
In all
says
caps.
tell Eric.
Yes, in all caps.
I did like how Eve, when they
James, what do you think?
when they came across Sonny and Will in the
and
she was like
"Ooh."
she was like Homer Simpson fading into the bushes.
Backing up to the bush. She sure did. She was like, "Ooh, girl, nope, not me. I have enough problems." It's almost like she was like oh, I'm sorry, you need me? I'm gonna be over here.
right back.
Yeah. It seemed
what time it is?
It seemed very much like that. Very much like that. All right, so that was that, and then we have Sierra, Ben, Tripp, Hope, and Sean Douglas.
Okay, so do we think this evidence is legit? Or
No.
no?
Because what I like, and kudos to Ben for looking at Hope and being like,
It's a great moment.
so you just want people to believe that with all this going on, you just took one final trip, walked into the woods and
Marlena's on her
stumbled upon
deathbed.
this.
Kristen, who's a true sociopath, is on the loose.
And he was like, you just chose to
gonna
take
go for
a
a walk.
leisurely stroll in the woods? Like, no.
I was like, kudos to
Yeah.
Ben for calling Hope out, but I was also like, kudos to Ben for like having that moment with Sammy.
Sammy? Yes. Oh, that was great. Another
Shady
great-
Ben.
Shady
Shady Ben.
What are you in for this time, sweetheart?
Yeah. And she's like, no.
She's like, you Parker. Okay, so I think the evidence is planted.
I do
but
too.
I don't think Hope did it. I have a theory that I won't share in case it comes true. I don't want to get in trouble for spoiling anything. But I have
Okay, so
suddenly I'm in an episode of Full House.
okay, so this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna take your theory, you're gonna write it down, put today's date on it,
Okay.
put it in an envelope,
That's a good idea.
okay? And then when it's revealed, you're gonna bring said envelope in, open it, and read what your theory was.
Okay, good idea. I'll
There
do
we
that.
go.
Thank you,
Love
Tony.
it.
Yeah.
Drama here at Dishin Days.
Go ahead.
It's just this moment where I'm just like, Hope, girl, like,
Okay, but like Victoria said last week, she's a mama bear protecting her
she
daughter.
is, but
So you got to cut her a little bit of slack. Is she going a little bit overboard with it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But you know,
But at one point, is she just going to trust her daughter and know that she was raised by Hope and Bo, and their instincts are spectacular. So, like, trust in your daughter. Keep an eye on Ben, but, like, trust that she's, like, making a good decision.
Yes, but he's in such close proximity to her right now that, you know, if there was some distance, if he was living somewhere else, maybe she could get to that space of, okay, I just need to trust her. But he's
Like, back off a
living
little bit,
with
yeah.
her.
yeah,
She could be
it's-
sleeping and he could just, you know, kill her in the middle of the night.
There was that
like,
moment where
easy.
he came in with the rag.
Oh,
and-
that bandana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Oh, he was like, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. Yeah. I was
But
like,
then he resurrected her bike or Bo's bike.
yes, I thought that was super sweet of him to do. Now listen, I just need an oil change, so if you wanna come over and change somebody's oil.
And I love Mark J. Freeman's, you know, obviously Ben needs to open up his own body shop in Salem.
Yes. Oh my God. That would be hilarious.
What did Mark say? This is writing itself.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
obviously, this is what needs to happen. I thought that was
Mark
brilliant.
Freeman, is your caps lock on, or are you just shouting at us?
Listen, that's just how Mark talks.
Is that just? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's how my dad writes emails. My 70-year-old dad. That's how he writes emails in all caps, even when he's happy. It's like
God.
he's shouting at
Just
us.
shouting.
Oh, there he goes. Okay.
And then we have Steve and Kayla, which
Yeah. We haven't talked about that situation, but everybody
Yeah.
pretty much knows why that's happening.
we talked about it briefly, but it's just kind of like his eye is so bionic that he was able to scan through and read stuff, and now he's off to jail.
Yep.
And
That's it.
Kayla's trying to like
Figure out why,
you know, have you talked to Shane?
Yeah.
Like, how can we get him out and all this kind of stuff. So it's just kind of like, bye for now, Steve. But
Can we see Shane, please? I want to see Shane.
Oh, Shane.
Just
You
bring
mean
him back.
Mr. Sheffield?
Yes. Just bring him back for a little bit, please.
just
Thank
to
you.
pop in and be like,
Yes.
he's all good, people.
Yes.
I'll take the clam
Charles
chowder.
Shaughnessy, love you, baby.
Yes.
Um,
and that was
That's
the
it.
week, I think. Yeah,
That was the
yeah.
week of days. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, our segment. And we're going to start with Tony's official 3 Snaps Award. Oh, snap! Okay, now listen. There were many great moments, but there was a teeny tiny moment that I said to myself, you go, girl. Some of us are just brought into this world and you know, you don't realize that you're born with shade, but you are. And when baby Bonnie looked at her father in the shady face as if like, oh, so you not gonna claim me? I said, come through, baby Bonnie. Yes.
This picture of baby Bonnie throwing shade is priceless.
It was everything. She literally was like, what? And then she kind of looked over like, oh, so really? So you gonna act like I ain't yours? Oh, okay, that's the game we playing? Oh, okay. So my 3 Snaps award goes to little baby Bonnie, who already at the tender age of a couple of months knows how to throw some good shade.
Oh, snap!
Love it. All right, and now it's time for
Mark's Quote of the Week.
And because now Mark originally tried to be here, but he did send in his quote of the week, and let's take a look at the video that he has watched over and over and over again.
What is she doing here?
I belong here.
I brought her here so she could say goodbye to her mother.
Yeah, because I found out you want to kill her.
So Mark's quote of the week
Look
goes
at the
to
disgust on Belle's face.
I know.
It's like, oh.
Mark's quote goes to Sammy, who goes, yeah, because I found out you want to kill her. And he has rewinded that over and over and over and over and over and over again. So that has been
Mark's Quote of the Week.
And now it's time for
Elegance.
Man, that will never get old to me.
I know.
Nope. Never get
Much
old.
needed moment. Okay, so this week, I was going to go with Miss Chloe because she, a lot of people were huge fans
looked
of that
good, yeah.
dress. But, I loved this little frock that Melissa Reeves is wearing.
This frock.
It's the perfect frock to try to explain to your fiance that you're just like Kristen DeMera. She is wearing the line is Joie line of clothing. It's a V-neck sleeve maxi dress with floral embroidery. I love this. I want this dress, actually. So there you go. It's going to Melissa Reeves.
Congrats.
And that has been
Elegance.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for Caption Day.
Okay, this week's caption is a photo of Mary. Pardon me.
Mabu.
This week's caption is for a photo of Kayla Brady sitting in with Belle, wearing her glasses, which I believe she wore on our show when she was here, right?
think so,
Those
yeah.
look familiar, right? So she's sitting with Belle, and caption of the week goes to Shaunicus01 on Instagram, with Kayla telling Belle, "Sorry, Claire is really yours." I thought that was cute.
That's hilarious.
And that was this week's.
Caption there.
You had a
And
lot
now
of
it's
really
time
good
for.
responses.
Oh yeah.
DISHIN Days Fan of the Week.
All right. So this week's fan of the week goes to at Dan Sin Club Co-Cap, who says, "Oh boy, where did it go? Oh, there it is.
Sorry, my bad. I moved it.
Okay." It says, thank you wholeheartedly to all of you for bringing this joy to all sinners. We on the Sin Ship salute you, #days. And that's in reference to us bringing in Victoria and Robert in for a sinfully delicious interview. We're so happy that you guys enjoyed it. In fact, it has now over 3,000.
3,600 views. So
And it's-
sinners unite.
I know.
It's
Boy.
only going to
Oh my
keep
God.
going
Wow.
up. So congratulations, Danny. You are this week's
DISHIN Days Fan of the Week. Woo!
And now it's time for
So intense. Alrighty, Chriselle Hartley, who will be coming back as Jordan later this year, stars in a new indie film with her husband, Justin Hartley, who you know from Passions and This Is Us and all that good stuff. The movie is called Another Time and is about a top investment manager, played by Justin, that is assigned to help the stunning owner of a recently acquired company, played by Chriselle. He realizes he has fallen for her and he has to go back in time to meet her before she becomes engaged. The film also stars former Days cast member Mark Valley, who played Blonde Jack in the 90s.
Mark will never claim Mark Valley as Jack.
See, that was my first Jack.
That was my first Jack too.
Yeah, so
and Stephanie Cameron, I think her name was. She was my first Jennifer.
Okay. See, I was watching when they did the switch when they went from Melissa Reeves to Stephanie Cameron. But yeah. You can. I forgot it. You can view the trailer for the movie at anothertimemovie.com.
Perfect.
There you go. Greg Vaughn and Tyler Christopher will be holding a fan event in the Atlanta area on Saturday, October 27th. Tyler announced this on his Instagram, saying details were to follow. You can follow Tyler on Instagram at TylerChristopher2929. More fan events. Fans of Days and Passions will be interested to know you'll have the chance to party with Eric Martzoff, Lindsay Hartley, Robert Scott Wilson, Jordi Villasuso, and Vincent Irizarry the weekend of September 29th to 30th in Boston, Mass. For more information and event tickets, go to starstruckfanevents.com. I see you, Tony.
He's been practicing.
What's that website again?
Starstruckfanevents.com.
Perfect.
Speaking of Starstruck fan events, you will also have the chance to party with some Days folks October 20th and 21st in Alexandria, Virginia. You can join Eric Martzoff, Paul Telfer, Cassie DePaiva, and Cassie's husband, James DePaiva.
Love him.
Excuse me. Again, for more information, including ticket options and hotel info, visit starstruckfanevents.com. Also, last week, the guys at Starstruck, Paul and Keith, are their names, said they were having an event here in the LA area in November.
November 9th.
November 9th?
Which is
Friday?
Yes, which is supposedly the day before Day of Days. It hasn't been officially announced yet for Day of Days, but they're planning on doing that event. So we'll give you more details, and we're gonna pop in too.
Yeah,
maybe.
sure. Why not?
Yeah, why not? And listen, you guys, they're the best when it comes to Days events. So make sure you like them, follow them on all social medias, and check out their website, starstruckfanevents.com. What is it again?
Starstruckfanevents.com.
All right.
Or Starstruck. What is it on Twitter? Starstruck
2?
Starstruck Events 2?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Go to starstruckfanevents.com. All right, ladies and gents, if you don't want spoilers, close your eyes because we are going to find out what's coming up on Days of Our Lives next week. Here's a clip.
Coma does things to a gal.
You're gonna be okay. No thanks to you.
Shade.
Before she finishes me off. Right, flowers? Did you ask for the sorry I almost killed my mom bouquet?
Days, NBC weekdays.
The best part of that promo is Kayla. Like, they just do that.
I'm not sure what to think. Is that her or is that...
Soap Opera Digest has spoiled it already.
Yes, they have. So we won't say...
Go to Soap Opera. If you want to be spoiled, go to Soap Opera Digest.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
We won't spoil it for you, though.
But
that's hysterical, though.
I love the way they cut that clip, though, because with the Wizard of Oz theme, that's hilarious.
Right, with the music?
Yeah.
Malcolm Adderley in the chat room says it's Devil Marluna. That's funny.
But this looks like this is going to be a very interesting week.
I feel like just from watching that promo, they're going to give us a break from all the drama, like the sadness.
Much needed break.
Kind of go back into, a little bit of normalcy. Whatever. However you want to say it.
How hilarious when she's like, is that the I almost killed my mom's bouquet?
And they have a bouquet for everything.
Yes, they do.
Thank you, Hallmark.
For some reason, I just feel like Deidre Hall is going to have a lot of fun this week. So
because all she's had to do the past week is lay in a bed.
Yeah.
And pretend like she's.
And side note, that machine was loud.
I know. I hated that sound.
Like there was a moment.
Oh my gosh.
There was a moment where
It's like Darth Vader.
Well, and I was like, is that something in my... And like for a moment, like I like listened in my house. I was like, is that the AC? Like, is there someone? And all you kind of was. I was like, what is that? And I was like, is that the the life support machine on
That
days?
horrible sound.
Oh, that is hilarious. All right, y'all. Well, before we head out, Michael
Yes.
Mattis, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at MLMattis1 and on Instagram at MLMattis.
Why do you always
I don't
stumble
know
over
why I
your
always
social
screw it
media?
up. I don't know.
And you can find me on Twitter at Tami Goveia and on Insta and Facebook, Tami Goveia Official.
Now, you can find all of us on Dishin Days on Instagram and Facebook, Dishin Days, and on Twitter, _Dishin Days, the ad is implied. And you can find little old me at Lounging with Tony or my website, loungingwithtony.com. Thank you all for tuning in
Thanks,
live.
guys.
And thank you guys for tuning in just now if you're watching it later.
Thank you to Martha for taking time out of your
Yes, Martha,
Sunday.
thank you.
Special shout out to
Skype in.
Martha for Skyping in, and shout out to Steve in the booth for keeping our little show moving right along with all this quirkiness. And thank you guys again. We will see you next Sunday for another recap of NBC's #1 hit soap opera, Days of Our Lives. Bye, y'all.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.